Yo, what's up guys, Teacher Bulb here, and today we are reacting to a video that explains why the Dutch are so direct. In fact, the name of the title of this video is Why the Dutch Always Say What They Mean. So, you know, they always say what they think, they always say what they mean, they're very straight up honest, which is the way you should be, I think. Except for when you're not asked. I don't think so. Like, you know, unsolicited opinions will forever be something that is uncomfortable. Like, you're minding your business and somebody comes up to you and says something that you didn't really ask for, and that can ruin your mood, ruin your day. But I don't think the Dutch are like that. I think the Dutch only answer when you ask, and they give you a straight answer instead of lying or sugarcoating or, you know, just sparing your feelings. Yeah, I don't think the Dutch are like that. So let's watch this video, and congratulations to the Dutch for being so open and honest. Let's go.
I'm afraid I can't make it because I'd be travelling there especially for you. A Dutch contributor recently responded to a meeting request. Blunt and very honest. A stark contrast to how we speak in the UK.
British people and Americans and others to some extent tend to sort of dance around the issues.
If you are vague or not direct, then people will say, well, come on, let's be honest so we can move on.
I was born in the Netherlands but grew up in the UK, so I've always noticed the two extremes. British politeness and Dutch directness. But how much truth is there to this stereotype?
Why are the Dutch so direct?
The Dutch are known as being direct, which means that the style is that the messages are quite precise and clear. They say what they mean what they say. So yes is really yes, and yet no is really no. Tomorrow is really tomorrow. Whereas in most other countries, the communication style is indirect.
Yeah, maybe always means no. Possibly means probably not. The Dutch people tend to be much more, well, what they would say, recht door zee, straightforward, telling things how it really is.
Yo, I hate that. You know, I'm from Brazil, and in Brazil we normally do that. We normally say, oh, I'll call you tomorrow, or we say, let's do something next week. And then, but the issue is that when they say, I'll call you tomorrow, they don't even have your phone number. Oh, I'll give you a call. They don't have your phone number. How can they call you, right? And they say, let's do something next week. And that means they're not going to do anything next week. Or if you say, hey, could you help me out? Yeah, sure, I'll look into it. They never look into it. So Brazil also has that issue of sparing your feelings. You know, they have that softness of, they don't want to say no. They don't say no to your face. They just say something and they mean the exact opposite of it. Just because, you know, they want to spare your feelings. And I hate that. I hate that, because if you don't want to, then just say it, you know. And sometimes I come off as rude when I say, hey, if you don't want to, just say it. And they're like, no, I didn't say I don't want to, you know. And that's the biggest issue. Like, when people are not direct with you, it's annoying. And I think that is the true disrespect. People that are not honest with you, they're being disrespectful with you, I would say. But it's a different culture, and that's not what their true intent is. They just want to spare your feelings.
Which can come as a bit of a surprise to outsiders.
Author Ben Coates grew up in the UK, but has lived in the Netherlands for over a decade.
I remember just in my first couple of weeks living in the country, I went and got a haircut and then went back to work afterwards. And the first thing one of my colleagues said was, it looked better before you went for a haircut.
Dutch directness comes from a long history of diplomacy, which benefits the Netherlands to this day.
The direct communication style is part of the consensus culture.
The Netherlands was formed based on Calvinist roots going back hundreds of years, became a great trading nation and a very successful wealthy nation during the 17th century golden age. You have a political culture which is extremely focused on consensus and compromise here.
So people learn to share ideas and come up with own opinions. And it was needed to be honest about your ideas and your thoughts and your opinions so they could find out a common solution. And that still is. It is deep-rooted, and it's still a part of the communication style.
I went to meet business psychologist Aukje Nauta, who explains that this cultural stereotype means the Dutch sometimes come across as rude.
I think that the Dutch are perceived as more direct because we use less often words like please, could you please, should you, and that explains why we come across as less polite. In the Netherlands, being polite is as important as in England.
It's meant to be honest and clear, but it's often perceived as being rude and even arrogant.
The reason why cultural comparisons are problematic is that it leads to stereotyping. This means that when you look at a Dutch person as very rude and direct, you are not that curious about what kind of person he or she is. And I think it's important to be curious after each other, because then you can make much better connections than when you put someone in a box instead of being really interested in a person.
When it comes to everyday conversations,
I think that's why I'm very curious. I'm a very curious person. So in this channel, I'm trying to learn a little bit more about, you know, the Dutch, and not only the Dutch, but other countries within the DACH and Benelux regions. So there are 6 countries that I'm looking into, and it's very interesting because everything you guys are showing me, like, I want to know more because it's absolutely amazing.
this expectation of directness can result in some unfortunate misunderstandings.
Well, the Netherlands, when they speak and learn English and when they translate the English language, they will literally translate it. If you have a business proposal and the Englishman or woman says, well, that's very interesting, I will have a look at it, we really translate that, oh, that's interesting, so they are interested. Well, it could also mean, well, I'm not interested and it's a bad idea.
You can never just straight up say that someone's work is not good. That instinct is quite deeply ingrained in British society. It also extends to just trying to avoid causing offence and always saying things in the nicest possible way.
And then the challenge for Dutch people is to find out what the real meaning of the words is. And we can both speak English, but it doesn't mean that we get the real message.
For example, there's a British sort of...
See, the thing about interpretation is that you can interpret it in the way that you want, but the person that is saying what they're saying, they need to express themselves in a clear way. If they're saying it's interesting, it means they're interested. And like, because they said it, they're interested. It's crazy to think. Yeah, I understand both sides because I am from Brazil and I understand the soft kindness and not, you know, trying to be as polite as possible, trying not to offend the other person. But I also grew up in a very straightforward culture that I don't like sugarcoating. I like going straight to the point. If I have a problem with someone, I go up to them and I say, look, this and that, you know, and sometimes I am misunderstood, and sometimes people think I'm rude, and I've been misunderstood so many times because I'm very direct. And another thing is that I don't see this hierarchy. I respect my managers and I respect everyone who's working above me, but I don't think that they are like other people treat them as they are the ones who you cannot defy. You know what I'm saying? So when I was working back in Brazil, I used to go straight to my manager and talk to them straight and be direct. And some people would be like, you can't do that. You know, you're being disrespectful because you didn't talk to your line manager. You went straight to the manager and stuff like that, which it feels like it's a hierarchy that why can't I talk to that person? Like I'm just talking to them. You know, it's strange. It's strange for me. Like it's just strange because people are like, it feels like they're superior, you know. It's different cultures though.
Tick of saying, oh, you must come for dinner, or we must do it again sometime soon, when obviously the last thing you mean is that that person should come for dinner next week, whereas Dutch people would naturally, inevitably tend to take those kind of statements more literally, I think, and the invitation will be in your inbox the next day.
And also, of course, for the people in the UK, it's challenging to not be that shocked because of the directness.
A British person would see sort of hedging around a difficult issue or politeness and civility, whereas a Dutch person might see the same thing as being actually dishonest. It's not just undesirable, but actually an unpleasant thing to do for a Dutch person.
Yeah, I understand.
You can see traces of this type of transparency all over the Netherlands. How people queue, leave curtains open for passers-by to peep inside, and even how they normalise nudity.
I think to some extent the Dutch are less prudish than the British when it comes to swimming naked or going to saunas or those kind of things. Go to a popular beach in the Netherlands on a sunny day and you sometimes feel like there's more naked people there than people with swimming costumes on.
When you can't show your body, the consequence is you associate nude bodies with sexuality. Whereas when you change clothes at the beach and you see a little bit of nakedness, then it's just ordinary. It normalizes a naked body.
Although I should say, I mean, I think it's hard to be more prude than the British when it comes to that stuff. So I'm not sure how much of it is just the Dutch being more normal and the British being excessively prude, but there probably is a big difference there.
So if you really want something, just say it how it is. Just be aware that some people may mistake your honesty for rudeness. And remember, if you say, "We must meet for dinner" to a Dutch person, they really will expect an invite.
One thing that really gets me angry is when people say, "I'm 5 minutes away." And then in 5 minutes they don't arrive and they're like, no, wait, I'm 5 minutes, I'm 10 minutes away or something like that. And I prefer if they tell me, look, I'm 20 minutes away, or I'm 30 minutes away, or I'm an hour away, or I'm still at home. I prefer people to tell me the honest truth, where they are and how far they are, because then I'm going to go do something else that would take the exact time that they tell me. If you tell me I'm 5 minutes away, I'm going to sit and wait. If you tell me you're 30 minutes away, fine, you're late. At least you're honest. In these 30 minutes, I'm going to go do something else. But I'm not going to sit here for 30 minutes waiting for you. And it really gets me angry. So I hate it when people try to make the situation better by lying. Thank you so much, German Tigerman, for subscribing. Guys, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, let's go. Don't forget to like the video also. Honestly, that's the thing. I don't like when people are sugarcoating or when they beat around the bush. I just like when people are very honest and direct, except when it's unsolicited. Sometimes, like, you can get very self-conscious of things, and sometimes you can get very offended, and sometimes it can spoil your mood. And when somebody comes out and points it out without you asking, then that's one thing. I don't agree with that. You know, I think people shouldn't be insulting other people or making an excuse. I'm just being honest. Okay, fine, you can be honest, but we didn't ask your opinion, and I think that's okay. You know, some people can, and then there's this whole debate of people saying, oh, but you don't want to accept the truth. Sometimes they accept the truth, but they don't want to talk about it. You know, because they have their own way of dealing with it, I think. But I don't think the Dutch do that. I think there is a fine line between being honest and giving your honest opinion and giving your opinion without being asked for it. These are two different things, and I don't think it is... I don't think it's the same thing. And I also don't think being honest and direct is the same thing as being rude. It's just give it to the person straight, you know. And I also think some people can choose the better words, right? Instead of saying, bro, your haircut is super ugly, they can say, I liked it better before. I think people can also control their words instead of insulting them, you know. Instead of saying, yo, you look very fat, you can say, you've gained a few pounds, but, you know, I don't know, people. But then again, as I said, unsolicited, I don't like that. I don't think people should walk up to other people and say, hey, look, your face is ugly. I don't think they should do that. Or if you see somebody wearing a shirt you don't like, you walk up to them and then you just say, hey, I don't like your shirt. I think your shirt is ugly. I think that shirt looks like you just stole it from, I don't know, from somebody. I don't know. I'm not going to insult anyone here, but you know what I'm saying? I don't think that's the right thing to do. And I don't think the Dutch do that. I think people who do that they're not aware of, they can't read the room, you know. But if somebody asks you, hey, do you think this shirt makes me look fat? Then people are like, yes, I do. I think it makes you look fat. Maybe you should try another one. Then fine, that's fine. You asked for an opinion, the person gave you the opinion, you accepted it, and then you went and changed the shirt. That's helpful. Or if you say, hey, do you think there's something in my teeth? Yes, there's something in your teeth. You can go clean it. That's fine. You asked an opinion. Or I would say, even if it's unsolicited, even if you don't ask for it, if you have something in your teeth, it's a friendly thing to do. Hey, excuse me, you have something in your teeth. That's fine. But even then, it's something that you need to be careful. Instead of saying, bro, don't you brush your teeth? You have something there. Are you stupid? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's rude. Anyways, guys, man, I have fun on this channel because you guys are awesome. And the encounters that I had with the Dutch here, you guys are so awesome and so polite. And I like the fact that you guys enjoy people who are curious about your country. So yeah, if you want to request a video, link is in the description or the pinned comment. Just buy me a coffee, request a video, like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on this, guys. Let me know your thoughts. I hope I was not misunderstood. I didn't want to be rude to anyone in this video, and I didn't want to offend anyone in this video. So, but I don't think the Dutch are going to be offended by anything I said. Hopefully. Okay, guys. See you. Take care. Bye-bye. Now you can get full access to exclusive content, special reactions to shows, series, anime, full movies, and even request a video of your choice. Just become a YouTube member or join Buy Me a Coffee today. Find out more, the link is in the description.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right.